All right, we are going to call this meeting to order at 6:33 p.m. Roll call.
Jim?
Here.
Mark?
Here.
Gary?
Yep.
Dylan? Here.
Did you say Ellen or Dylan?
Dylan? Your voice is very high. Tim?
Here.
Alan?
Here.
Matt?
Okay, approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, public forum, persons asking to speak to the board, reasonable amount of time, not to exceed 5 minutes. I have nobody on the list and there's nobody on here, so we are going to move on to the next. Approval of minutes from regular board meeting of November 18th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Clerk, forthcoming events and correspondence.
I don't have anything.
Okay, President's forthcoming events and correspondence. I do have a couple things I want to say. First of all, I would really like to throw out a big thank you to everybody that was at the park for the lighting of the trees and the memorial stuff and the lights for snipe and everybody that was involved in that stuff, our public works people and ladies from the RAA and just everybody that was involved. I would really like to throw out a big thank you. Everybody had a great time down there and we all got a lot of compliments. So it was really fun and I enjoyed it. So I hope next year we can even make it bigger and better.
Don't bug me next year there, okay? I want that again.
I guess I would also just like to say that I seen the news tonight and sounds like we had kind of a tragedy down in the Madison area today.
Yep.
And I would really, I mean, especially right before Christmas like this, my heart just goes out to those families and those people that are involved in that. And I hope everybody tonight, if you have a couple minutes, you know, say a prayer for those people and hopefully they can get through this. It's got to be tough. I can't even imagine. It just breaks my heart.
Amen.
Give your kids an extra hug tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So, thanks for everybody being here tonight, and I guess we'll move on from there. Finance, personal insurance, seeing how Dylan is not here, I will read in the bills. General fund, check number 115335 through looks like we got 115361, and then we also have one other check in here of 1011553 for a total of $101,617.91. Water fund, we have check numbers 62006052 through 62006056 for a total of $1,660.86. Sewer, we have checks number 63006-872 through 63006-895, and the total amount of $30,554.95. Payroll. We have,
Check 426.
yeah, check 426 through 648. Then we have checks number 629 through 662 and 632 through 671, and the total amount of $49,149.42 for a grand total, all funds, of $182,983.14.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so then we're gonna go to discuss, consider act on Public Works interview for new full-time employee Jim Frederick.
I had one come out to the shop last week. Interviewed him just to show him around, and then I have one tomorrow coming out. And I think we're gonna run the ad another week yet, and then we're gonna shut it down and see if we have any more applicants, and then I'll sort through that. And then I'd like to get together so we can have a formal interview in front of the board or personnel committee, however you want to do it. But I'll have to let you know, and we'll have to set something up because we can't really wait much longer.
So we should be able to set a definite date tonight, even if you run the ad for an extra week. That'll take you till the end of December. And by the second week, we should be able to interview.
By the second week, then
Yeah, between the 6th and the 11th.
I don't want to wait that long.
Well, then we can go the week ahead, which would be the December 30th through the 3rd of. I just think we gotta get it set up.
Well, then
It's been dragging on for a long time now.
Pick a date in December if you can make it happen. If not, it'll be after the first year.
When did you say you're doing that other interview?
Tomorrow. And then I want to see what else comes in, because
Well, how many weeks have we actually had that out there? The ad? Because that gets costly running the ad too.
How many,
we were getting anything that was, I didn't think was qualified.
how long is the ad paid for right now?
It was for 3 weeks, and then he wanted it extended longer, so I got told both newspapers, the Berlin Journal didn't put it back in last week's, but the Washira Argus did.
So you can probably cut off the Argus after this week then.
Okay.
And then if you already contacted Berlin, put it in for next week, and then that'll be it.
Okay, so then that takes us into the last week of December. I mean, the only time that we would have would basically be probably the 30th, the 2nd, the 3rd, otherwise the week after, the 6th or the 10th.
I'm available either
That's
one.
on you guys. I'm here. So you tell me the date, sooner the better.
Monday the 30th?
Do you want to try and squeeze it in then?
If we get a big snowstorm, we're gonna have to squeeze a lot harder.
You want to do the 30th,
I can do the 29th? No, I can't do
It's a
the
Saturday.
29th.
Sunday? All right, so then we're going to try and shoot for December 30th? And what time are we thinking?
What is December? Is that during a weekday?
It's a Monday.
A
Monday.
Monday? I don't care. It's you guys, whatever you want to set, I'm here.
Why
So
don't we
6
do it
o'clock?
during-
Can we do 6 o'clock?
Are you around? You are? Okay. Do we want to try and do it during the day quick?
Sounds good to me.
So like,
I think everybody.
maybe
can be
like
here.
11, 1, somewhere in there?
I'm clear. Whenever
Or
you
would
want
a
to set it
little
up
later
for.
be better for you, Jim?
I'm just thinking of them if they have a job at this time.
Do you want to do it after then?
Can we like set it for 3 and then a possibility of adjusting the time?
Let's set it for 4 o'clock. Would that be okay?
Okay, so we're going to set it for 4
That way
o'clock
it
on the
gives
30th.
everybody a chance, if they have to leave an hour early or something,
Well, too, if you see that it's an applicant that you're aware that they've got a job and they don't get out of work until 5, we'll just adjust it
Okay.
so that they come in later. Those that are unemployed, do them early.
4 o'clock.
December 30th.
Yes, Monday.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Who's going to meet at this meeting? Is it the personnel committee?
It'll be the,
The whole board?
yeah, it'll probably be the board. All right, so we got a date and time set for that. Is there anything else on that then you need to let us know, Jim?
No.
Okay, all right.
I'm just trying to lead them out so we're not, so you're not having to spend time with it.
Okay, appreciate
yourself,
that.
You know, all that extra time.
All right,
As long as you
so,
trust me, I guess.
all right, consider act on equipment replacement fund financing loan with Ellers and Associate. Actually, that is, with Farmers and Merchants is who the actual financing is going through, but Ellers has been helping us get the terms and stuff together for this. Becky handed out the, information to you just a little bit ago on the terms and the financing for the equipment fund. Everybody had time to look that over? And
Make
we've
a
already,
motion to approve.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we are now going to move forward on that. So the skid steer and everything should be all taken care of, Jim.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll move on to library. Jeannie, monthly update.
Okay, well, I have been talking for the last quarter about our new website that we were going to put out. It went live this weekend, so it's very nice and easily maintained. It doesn't have pages like the old technologies are. The new technology is tile technologies, so kind of like what you would see when you look at Netflix. You got tiles. That's the new wave of the website. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a tile in there for the Civic Center and the quarry, and I can do others. And we have, next week, I'll have it all set up so we can fundraise on those. So we can fundraise for the quarry. It will go right into their account through PayPal or Venmo. Same thing for the library, same thing for the Civic Center. And we're putting stuff and data in there. What it's doing also is it has this nice feed feature. So anything that I put out on social media or whatever comes right into these tiles. So I believe that's going to increase our usability on the website. And we were one of the last ones in the library system to get done, so we have the latest technology now. And it's really slick. So I would encourage you all to look at that and maybe think about maybe other departments. And maybe we can fold some of this in, because like I said, this is a free thing that the Winnefox Library System puts in. It doesn't change any of your stuff. It will actually provide easier access to update information that's in the learning curve is low. Okay, unless you want to get deep into it, and then it'll be a little higher. So I would actually ask all of you to kind of look at that. Even if you have different departments and you want to highlight something, we can do that. And it's not staff intensive. That was the whole point of this. The meetings that have been recorded, I have syndetics that I'll give you at the end of the year. What that syndetics is all the usability, which means how many people watched it from this zip code versus, you know, in New York, or how long they watched it and how often they watched it. So we have all that data. We can actually track it down to male, female, age groups, everything. So that's really good data to have, and I found it fascinating. And I find it fascinating watching, you know, both. So the feedback that we've been getting through the library is if it stopped, people would be missing out, because I do know some homebound people, one board member right now, two, of mine that will tune in tonight. They'll get the message that it's live or that it's up, and they'll watch it by tomorrow morning. So sometimes I have 100 hits. I'll put it up by 9 o'clock at night, and then I come in and I look at it, and it's already been watched 79 times. So that's really good. Okay. So, the Civic Center, we had spaghetti with Santa. Chef Gary had excellent sauce. We did really well. So that was a good thing, and we're gonna probably do it again next year. We did cookie walk, the library did with the bake sale. We had about 100 people coming in, and we did a showcase of the library and the change and everything, and we heard nothing but good, positive feedback. The library has been completely transformed. It's not the same as it was, and that took a lot of work. But it really has made a difference for our community, so that's a good thing. We have some good programs coming up, and these are things that I'm not working on. The Friends of the Library are doing the work on it. Mark Moran, who does antiques, Plainfield did this program in August, and they had like over 100 entries. So if we get enough, the Friends of the Library will pay for this program. If not, then it'd be like $35 per person to enter in whatever teacup or thing, family heirloom. But it's been very, very well received in other libraries, and it's vetted, and it's a good thing. So that's, we're very excited about. We're gonna have, over Christmas vacation, we have a lot of kids coming in and parents, so we are gonna be very, very busy. So we're gonna have a wild robot and crafting thing going on. I don't know if you know Wild Robot, but that's a very good movie, good book. I totally watch that. I've been tapped to work with the Waushara County Parks Subcommittee. So we're going on January 22nd, we're going 10 to 4, and we're going to all the different parks in Waushara County. But what I would like to see on the report that was done on 2012, very little was talked about the quarry and stuff. So this is our voice to get into that program. And when we rewrite this usability and other things for the Waushara County, that's gonna also open up areas for grant writing for our different parks. So I don't know what subcommittees are going on and planning committees, but you might want to put me in on that so I can convey your future wishes and your long-term plan to the county. So I finished my classes, thank God. So that's about it.
All right, well, thank you, Jean. All right, we're gonna move on to machinery, garbage, and ordinance. Gary Renenzel.
Monthly update. Jim, got anything?
The skid steer is ready for delivery. They're waiting for the attachments. They were supposed to have been here last week and they're not. He called me and he said, if you need it, I can bring it. I said, just wait until attachments come in, just bring it all at once. And hopefully that's going to be delivered this week, he said. So hopefully that'll come, and when it does, we'll be able to use it for a lot of things, especially in the winter. So that's about all I know for that.
Okay. All right, municipal buildings, Tim Hager.
Monthly update, all we're gonna do is talk about the new building plans that we're supposed to have.
The monthly update, I can just give you that I'm just letting you know, I have a overhead door at the shop at the bottom is completely rotted out on it, and it's about ready to come apart, and I called for someone to come out, to look at it, give me an estimate, so I can present it at next month's meeting. So that's all I have from municipal buildings.
Did you happen to bring building plans tonight?
I think when we get to Kyle's long-winded part there, I'll run back and get it, because I forgot. I think I was comatose today. I forgot
All right.
about it, so I will go and
I hope
get
you
it.
have 4 or 5 hours to spare to listen to that.
Don't worry, I'll take my time getting it. But no, I do have the plans. I forgot them. I'll run, as soon as we get to his, I'll run and get it.
Okay.
And I couldn't make copies because it's bigger, so I'll just hand it to you and you guys can
Okay.
do what you want with it.
All right. So we're just gonna move that one till he gets back.
Yeah,
All right, we'll just delay this one for the moment. All right, so we're gonna move on to Parks and Cemetery. Ellen Caswell.
Monthly parks, Jim.
So I can't give thanks enough for Brent coming down to help me put up lights, and a big thank you to Roger White. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got them lights out. He was helping and decorating everything, and if I was out there and he wasn't called, he was awfully upset with me because he didn't tell me to come and help. And if it wasn't for him, I couldn't have got all that done. And thanks to Dave Kroll, he helped me and Gene put up the ones on the poles in the rain because I was shorthanded. And so I just can't thank them guys enough. They do a lot of stuff for Public Works, and I can't thank them enough. And I'm glad that everybody was happy with what we did out there. And it made it all worthwhile. I've never been hugged by so many women after the lighting. I'm serious. I mean, so it made it worthwhile, I thought anyways. So it was, thanks, yeah, they're all my age though, that was the problem. But no, it was great. I mean, it's a lot of work, and I complain a lot about it and try to untangle all the lights, and then you plug it in and none of them work, and after all said and done, it was worth it. It was well worth it. And next year, I plan on making it, I think Jim is too, we're planning on probably doubling or tripling the memorial side of it, and I want to do more lights, but next meeting, I'm going to have it on the agenda, and we have to start something that we can have volunteers. We need to have volunteers to do this because it took me 2.5 weeks to do all that out there with limited help that I had, and we had the first snowstorm and I wasn't ready for it. I can't let that happen again. So I want to see if we can do some type of association for Christmas lighting, that we can get volunteers, and we want to start the memorial trees like 3-4 weeks sooner than what we did. That was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and I had people tell me when they're decorating, because I went over and thanked them when they were decorating. He says, we were waiting for this for a long time, so we'll make it better next year.
Can we look at the electrical outlets?
We are gonna, Gene and I looked at that, and we're gonna dig in next summer a couple of extra outlets so we don't have to run so many cords, because I think I spent over $400 on just cords. And the reason I went out the other night, Brent told me, and then Jim said he went out there and it took a ground fall. So I'm thinking because of the rain and stuff, because all these cords and stuff out there, we'll probably have to watch it every time. And if somebody sees it, just go to the box and just push that little button and she'll come back on, so.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, it was, there's a lot of cords, that's all I gotta say, so.
Okay.
So thank you for everyone that helped.
Yep, thank you guys too. All right, moving on to police and fire, Tim Hager.
Jeff, do you have an update on the new equipment?
The new engine is in service. The old engine, we had it up for auction and that snafu'd a little bit, so it's gonna go back up for auction again. And the new rescue truck is done, except the 7 light switches don't work. And they're on their 3rd set of switches, and it's a switch manufacturer, and they're hoping to have it done to us before the week is over. We'll see.
That's good. You got 401 fixed too, right?
The pump in 401 was rebuilt, the check valve was rebuilt. When did we have the snowstorm? Last Wednesday? Must have taken it down Monday. I took it down Monday after Thanksgiving, and it was back by Wednesday.
Good. So no more problems, right?
I wish.
Okay, thank you. Oh, monthly police update. You ready, Kyle?
Yeah. Bree and I had training here along with correctional officers from Redgranite Correctional. We watched a presentation by OCIC on drug identification and drug identifiers. So we had 4 administrative staff from visiting along with Bree and I. I had breakfast catered in, and that was last Tuesday, I think, or the 2nd, from 8 to noon. So we got 4 hours of credit for our training time, and looking to do that again in the future. We have more training that's pertinent not only to us, but also to the institution, I'll invite them to come and we either hold it here in person or we do the video training like we did on the 2nd. Still working on prison cases. We still have a load of them, but we're starting to knock them off. I got 2 done yesterday, about ready to finish one up tonight. Bree's working on her cases, so it's kind of quiet, so we're taking advantage of the slow time to get in there and get them done. She completed the 4th quarter billing because the state wanted the billing in before the end of the year with the holidays coming up, so I think we billed just about $4,000 for last quarter. So our 1st quarter next year is going to be a lot because we've got what I'm working on now and Bree's working on now, plus in the 1st quarter, so we should get those cases up and running. Bree's got a preliminary hearing on the 30th. If they can't solve it there, it's going to trial, I believe, in February sometime. So, working on getting the reimbursement for the local fests. We did get our reimbursement for our training for $480. That I think is going up next year. The governor in his budget increased our training amount, so I think it's going to go $400 per officer. So that's pretty much it with the department.
All right, thank you. Okay, you gotta discuss, consider act on approval of changing the speed limit on Wisconsin 21 between Lang Street and the east village limits.
Okay, so you should have an email there from Tony Chemnitz. He's the engineer for the state of Wisconsin from District 4. And basically, he sent it down to Madison. They went and put all their information in there. And what they do is they take information from what's called an ILT, Incident Tool Locator. So when we have traffic infractions, we indicate on a map where we have the infraction at. And that gets all computed in the state computer along with crashes. So every time we have a crash, and we submit it to the state, that gets put in the computer. So they look and they do information from traffic crashes and citations in that area. Then they also look at the physical, you know, is the ground changing? What's changing there? And then they look at, okay, now we have extra business there since we have the medicine processing plant, and then we're having more pedestrian traffic coming from Preston Place coming across there, and they kind of put that in there, and they've got a formula and spit it out. So this is just kind of a first step situation where they're going to adjust the speed limit. So heading east out of town, where it kicks up to 40 miles an hour, this spring, they will adjust it back down to 25. And it'll be 25 miles an hour until you hit, I think he said Warren Street.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Warren Street to about 0.2 of a mile east of Warren Street, it'll go up to 35 miles an hour. And then by the time you get there, it's kind of out by the old wool plant, it kicks up to 55, kind of just east of the honey farm. And then it'll do the same thing, it'll adjust down by the wool plant down to 35, and then when you get to Warren, it'll go down to 25. So, and they'll keep tabs on that, and then the same thing will come when we do traffic stops there, violations there, it'll track that, it'll track traffic crashes. If there's any engineering issues, they'll track that and see if it reduces accidents and, you know, gets people to slow down a little bit. We did put the speed trailer there and hopefully got people to slow down a little bit. I've been doing more enforcement there, running radar. So when I sit there and they see me there, they don't speed, but I imagine when nobody's there, they speed. So we do what we can there. So I guess that's where that's going to happen. And what will happen is District 4 DOT out of Wisconsin Rapids will send a work order to Washington County Highway Department and tell them these are the signs we need, this is where they need to be located. Carl, the sign guy, will get his marching orders, get his stuff together, and probably come out when the frost is out, put new posts in, put new signs in. They might put reflective striping on it, they might put the little orange flag to kind of alert people. So, and we'll see how that happens, how that goes, and I'm quite sure Tony will follow up with us on it, so that takes care of that issue.
Okay, let's,
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Consider act on approval of changing the location of the flock condor camera from the village hall to State Highway 21 and Pine River Street.
Okay, you have an email from Cody Bates from Flock. He basically told me that's no problem. They can mount it there. All he said is that we need to avoid the DOT poles, and we do have a light pole on the corner that we own, they can mount it on. So everything else is, that we talked about in the meetings is good, set to go. So with your approval, I'll let him know. And then he'll get a hold of me, and probably, like he says, about 4 to 6 weeks, we'll have a project engineer come here, a manager come in, and we'll make sure we've got, I give him a number for Alliant in Berlin for the street lights, or the light pole in the Corey parking lot. So he's gonna talk to him about that, because we're gonna need electricity, so he'll get that lined up for us. And then the locations of the 2 flock cameras, and then the location on the pole, we're gonna put, the condor downtown, or downtown park, so we'll need electricity there. So we'll have some costs there if there's not electricity run to the pole, but I think there is. We should, all we need was just, the installation to hook electricity up for that. The same thing at the light pole at the quarry, we'll need electricity there because those condors run off of constant power. So a light will have to put a power box in there, or an outlet or something along those lines. So we'll probably have some more meetings or committee meetings as this progresses, and I'll let you know. So hopefully by the spring we should have anything ready to go.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, consider act on approval of flock camera contract and installation.
Hey, you guys just approved it, so I'll let them know it's approved, and we'll get the ball rolling, and once they get everything lined up, we should have a bill, and I'll get you the bill, and we'll be good locked in. So it's billed per year, so I think I gave that to you guys that were at the meeting, and it's gonna be 12, but then it's 13 something this year because of the installation fees, but then renewal for 3 years, so we're 3-year renewal, it's 12 grand a year, so 3 grand for each camera. And that includes the software and the training, so.
All good?
Good. Okay. Discuss, consider act on approval of purchase order for a new squad.
Yeah. Jim, you had to put on the board minutes,
Well, we were discussing that,
we were
and,
discussing it tonight.
yeah, and you want, I'm trying to remember exactly what the reason was that we were talking about having it on here, because there was a reason, what was it?
Well, the big thing is, I mean, I can order it, but if I order it, we've gotta have the money, and I was gonna work on a grant when I have time to get a grant written to get that, so it's gonna be something where we're gonna have to purchase it, and then, if we get the grant, then we'll get reimbursed. So I didn't know where we were at funding wise. I know you're looking at some funding issues, so, I'm gonna start
Is
putting.
this something that you wanna try and get done in 2025, or what's
Yes.
the game plan?
Yes.
Okay, so,
My car right now is 8 years old. Bree's car is a 22, so it's 4 years old. So I know we tried to cycle everything out. Our last car was 13 years old. I want to try to keep it less than that, but I'd like to cycle it out and get another car.
okay.
Actually, I'm looking at a truck. I think a truck would be more beneficial for us than.
So do we need to sit down and have another meeting and try and figure out some more budgeting?
Yes.
Okay,
Motion
So I'll
to
have to sit down, I'll have to get quotes. For the grant, I have to get quotes, I have to get 2 quotes for every piece of equipment, so I have to get 2 quotes on a truck, I have to get 2 quotes on a light bar, I have to get 2 quotes on a radio, I have to get 2 quotes.
how long do you think it's gonna take you to get all the information together?
If I can sit down, probably 2 or 3 days, if I can sit down and not be bothered, probably 2 or 3 days. I know I have a couple days off, after Christmas. That's gonna use vacation, but I'll probably come in and just not look road and just work on that stuff.
So probably after the first of the year,
First
then?
of the year,
Probably like in the first couple weeks after the first of the year?
yep.
Yeah, and this grant's contingent on not having a excess fund in the village.
Yeah, somehow to pay for it, you know, I don't, we do have money, some money set aside in the squad car replacement fund. I take enough, pull money out of my budget every year and put money in there, but it's not enough for buying a complete car. So, and what the USDA looks at is, A, if I have the squad car fund, I have to use that first, and then B, if we have a non-designated fund, so if we have a rainy day fund, money sitting somewhere, we need to designate that for something. So you can't just have a savings account sitting there drawing interest that you aren't using it for. So you gotta designate it for something. If not, they're gonna say, well, if you've got that, you have to use all your funds, then we'll fund the rest. So,
I guess how soon in 2025 do you want to try and have this done by?
if I put the order in, I say by February, by the Chiefs Conference, lead time probably middle of July, the truck should be done.
Okay,
So
so,
we probably need it by beginning of summer, we need the money to pay for the truck.
so that would give us approximately like 6 months to figure out funding.
And Mark said he would build it, so, he said Breeze Car was the last car he's gonna build, but.
And as far as the grants, like the USDA grant, that's what we got last time for
That's
the
what we
last
got.
car. Is
Well, we
it,
got extra funding, so we got extra funding, and that's how we got the speed trailer and the video trailer, is I was only asking for 65, but they approved us for 121, so,
so is that something that we could be possibly eligible for again? Or?
yes.
Okay.
Our economic status, since we're kind of impoverished, scores us higher on the acceptability.
So then this is something that we should look into right
Yes.
away with the USDA stuff?
Yes,
Okay. All right, so then you're gonna get all this together and within the first couple of weeks of January, we're gonna go over this information and then we're gonna start looking into the funding and USDA grant's probably gonna be one of those funding
Yes.
options.
and some of the equipment, there's electronics grants that's out there, so radios, if we don't use the USDA, I can use electronics grant. There's another Homeland Security grant. And rumor has it that, the first part of the year, there'll be more grants coming out. So.
So then why don't we table this and set it for an update in January? Okay, second it, you got it? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
Okay, consider act on approval of a part-time police department secretary.
So, our current secretary, I've been having problems trying to get her to come in and do secretarial work. We're behind on our wipers and UCR reporting. I keep getting emails from them saying, like, reports aren't in. I keep asking her to come in and she's not. Report or statements, especially from the prison, we do have that Dragon software, but that still needs to be proofread after we run it through the program, so that's not that bad. It's not like you're sitting there typing for hours and hours. The software does it in about 5 minutes, but we need follow-up done on that. And then a lot of other stuff taken care of. I want to have the secretary take care of the billing for the prison hours, and also keeping track of my bills and expenditures. Bree's been doing a lot of that, and so Bree's a police officer, not a secretary, so she is in a pinch taking care of that, but I expect a secretary to do that. I'm paying Bree to do police work, not secretarial work, so I need another person that's going to come in. I did contact Caitlin Nett, who works in the probate office, and she agreed to do it. She does the waivers and UCR reporting for the Plainfield Police Department, Wild Rose Police Department. So she agreed that she would take care of that, and then also take care of transcribing and proofreading reports, and then just odds and ends paperwork for us and accounting stuff. She does work at the courthouse Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, but she's willing to come in nights and come in and work nights. So she said she was interested and the committee approved, so I just like full vote approved to bring her on board. I don't know the situation with our secretary now, if she's gonna stick around, or at least we would have two people, but I need someone to come in and do this stuff, and not say they're gonna come in and then not come in, so.
Is that the same wage that the current secretary's working at?
Yeah, I think it was a 20, we went to 21 for them, exactly, I believe.
Off the top of my head, that's almost over.
Yeah, 21 and all.
Do we not have to advertise the position and offer it to the public? Not
This is
just one
special-
person?
Specialized, she's doing specialized work.
I'm just asking the question,
Yeah, I, with something like this, I don't think I mean, it's, with specialized work like that, we gotta have special skills, so,
Especially since Kyle's already done legwork on it, you know.
yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I would have put it out, but there's training involved in it, and it's like 2 weeks of training to learn how to do the wipers, and the training is until March, and I can't wait that long. I've got to get this stuff done, because I keep getting not so nice emails from the state saying, hey, you're behind. We were 3 months behind. August, September, and October weren't sent in, so.
Well, you need somebody in that office to get this moving forward
Make a
before we
motion
get
to
in our,
approve.
get in trouble,
Second.
so, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
opposed.
Okay.
Reason being, we should also find out for sure what the other secretary intends to do, because otherwise we're sitting with two part-time people.
But if the one's not coming in, the other's coming in,
Then we need a resignation from her. And she has to give us a definite yes or no if she's going to work or if she isn't for us.
Well, I think she's pretty much already let us know what she's
Well,
gonna do.
we should
because
have that
she's
in
not-
writing from her.
Well, and that's fine, we can get that. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, are we planning on utilizing this other person for anything else anymore?
well, she said she could come in February, but like I said, I can't wait.
But now she's put us into a situation
We're on
we're
waiting,
behind,
waiting.
and we should
We're
not be
and
behind
I've
with
asked
anything
and
from the
asked and
state.
asked.
Okay, so
And it's not getting done.
let's get the resignation and let's just call it done with. I mean, if that's how it's gonna go, then let's just be done with it. And if this other person can fill the shoes, then move forward. Sound good? All right.
Consider act on approval of switching over to AT&T from Verizon for cell phone and SIM card service.
AT&T came to me and we put together kind of a plan based on what we have. We did have a committee meeting, we sat down and discussed it, and the plan currently that we have with Verizon, the AT&T proposal would save us 17%. So it's a cost savings for the village, so that we can invest it in Jim's streets and make Jim happy. But it would be replacing all the phones we have, adding a phone for Becky for the clerk's office, because she needs it to run one of her programs for verification.
For audit.
For audit, yes. Then also, you guys approved at the committee going with the tablets for the board members, so that instead of Becky printing stuff off and wasting paper and having to drop it all off, she can email it to you and you can use the tablet. And it will have, unlike the last ones, it will have internet capabilities. So that was SIM card, it'll have internet connection. Right now, we're looking at, based off of what the current usage is, they've got, I think we got a certain rate set for sharing off the SIM cards. If the usage goes up, we can adjust that as necessary. But just reminded that the tablets are to be used for village business and village business only, no playing games on them, no doing personal emails, no
Video watching.
Candy Crush or watching videos on it, because that's gonna drive the usage up. So that'll all be monitored. But it's a way for you to get stuff, and it's a way for you to email back and forth to the clerk's office or
I
their
think
numbers.
there was something there, yeah.
So with us, it's a new phones, because they're only, I think, 99 cents. And what would happen is I would pick a date with Brandon, set a time up, after the first of the year, Brandon would come here for a whole day, then I'd have everybody come in, bring their Kirk phones in. He would swap them over, put all the information on the old phone, on a new phone, everybody leaves with their new phone. And then we would have Jason come in that same day, get all the department emails put in on the tablets, and then your tablets will be ready to use day one.
Okay, we also included Brent on that.
Yeah, sewer water, yep.
Okay, and, what, 5 phones you think you said?
Well, Jim a phone, Becky a phone, 2 phones from the police department, Jim a phone, sewer water phone.
And the tablet.
And the tablet, yeah, your tablet. They swap your tablet over.
We have
And I think
plans.
we can get, I think they said we can get a couple bucks for the old tablets, we just turn them into them and they give us a credit for them. So
They're
Could we
recyclable.
use the tablets, these tablets for, donate them to the library or something, or?
Yeah, if we don't get, if we don't get any monetary value out of them, yeah, we could donate them to the library, but they wouldn't have, the SIM cards would be dead on them, so the library could use them, or you could give them to the school or whatever, so. And then there's a tablet for the clerk's office too, for you guys to accept sewer water payments. Are you taking tax payments on that too?
No,
That Foursquare or whatever?
no,
Not at this time? Okay,
I guess I haven't really
okay.
talked to Jason about it. Kind of waiting for the software for the 2024 real estate bills.
Okay.
We haven't gotten that yet. It'd be nice if they did.
Okay, so we just need approval for that.
Do I have a motion?
Yes, you have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, update on expense reimbursement for Matt Zilke from attending the police academy.
So I have an email from Steve Roll, who is the head of the Northwoods Technical College, where Matt went to school, got his academy training. He's the one that got us lined up with the getting reimbursed. I checked with Becky, we haven't got any reimbursement yet. So I emailed Steve, asking about when the reimbursement, when it's gonna come. Kind of anxiously waiting for that. So he's gonna check with the Dean of Student Services for the Public Safety Department and find out where the money's at and let me know. So I will keep on him. I'll probably email him end of the week and for next week to kind of keep on him to get him going. So that would help alleviate some of my overage as far as operating expenses, because we did the budget in 2023 for 2024 to send into the academy, but we'll get some of that money back, so that'll help offset some of that. So it's just an update on that.
All right, okay.
Table till January?
What?
You want it tabled until January?
We can revisit it in January, that's fine. And I'll just let you know as soon as we get it, I'll just keep pounding them, but they already approved, the school approved to reimburse us, so I think they're just maybe waiting at a year, trying to make sure that they got all their other expenses covered and make sure we get what we were looking for, getting reimbursed for.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. Discussion of installation of house numbers?
Yeah, we're training with Matt. Jim says they're gonna be working on getting house numbers out. So trying to find the house numbers and train Matt, what houses are, it's a bad situation. A lot of house numbers you can't see, or they're covered up, or they're just not existent. Wrong address. So we've had house numbers for about 4 years now sitting in the closet, so Jim's been kind of busy with everything and doing the lights and the pickleball court, so he's working on getting that out to the citizens and get the house numbers up. We have the house number ordinance too, and I would suggest that when you hand the numbers out, that we include a copy of the house number ordinance for people, so they know what the rules of the house numbers are. So, yeah, we're just looking at getting that done, because it's kind of tough when he's looking for houses and you can't find the numbers. I mean, I know, because I've been here since Jesus skipped rope, but.
Didn't we have something, Ellen, maybe you remember, because I remember when we got those numbers, didn't we have something that we were gonna do in order to make sure that all the house numbers were in a certain spot? I thought we were gonna, I thought we
They
made
were. They're gonna
We
be
do have an
designated,
ordinance. house number ordinance. Becky should have a copy somewhere. Hey, Becky?
Hey, Greg.
However, for an example, I'm gonna use my house.
Mm-hmm.
Those or house numbers really need to be in the alleyway where emergency vehicles would be coming in on that side because there is really no access from the highway.
And you're on, your house
Foster
number
and
is
Bannerman.
Foster and Bannerman, but your house number is East Bannerman Ave. So
Right.
that's where it's gonna be placed, the main entrance on the highway where your house is. So you're
411.
411 Bannerman.
I
So-
prefer that not be on record though.
Well, according to the ordinance, well, I'm sorry about that, but according
That's
to the
all right,
ordinance,
I guess.
it has to be on the proper place. We have incidents where houses are on the corner, the house number is Horn Street, but they've got the number
Yeah.
on Cook Street. So they got it placed, so then when they're driving around with the ambulances, fire trucks looking for it, they can't find the house number because it's located in the wrong spot. So I know your main entrance, you're off the alley, but it will be on the front of the house off of the correct
So,
I think
address.
Jim, you plan on taking these to the house owner, door to door?
Yeah, thanks for letting me know about the ordinance, because we drew up a picture of the house, put where it had to be, and then Krista's gonna type what has to be done. Have any problems, have any questions, contact me. You put double-sided tape on all of them, so they have the option of, and it's Gorilla Tape, and trust me, you can't get it off.
Okay,
And so there you got the options of sticking it on or screwing it to their house. And Gina's gonna start tomorrow, if we get the ordinance, and we got plastic bags, or like huge sandwich bags, and he's gonna place everything in there, and he's gonna come and just set it on everybody's doorstep, so that way it's there. There's only gonna be one guy going out doing it all, and that's gonna take a long time to do that, so.
no, I'm just saying, somebody's walking around with a screwdriver,
Yeah, but I don't wanna be the one screwing into his house, you know, I give them the option. That's why I'll have my number, and if they want, I'll come out and do it for them, but I'm not just gonna go up there and screw it on their house or something.
yeah,
But yeah, my number will be there, so if anybody needs help, call me and I'll come out and take care of
And
it.
That's
some,
great.
they're supposed to buy them at the main entrance to the door.
mhm.
Well, if their garage is on the same street, they'll put it over the garage, it's not over the house, so, basically, we took the same as what Wild Rose has, it's gotta be at the main entrance off of your designated road where your house is at. So, in your case, Ellen, you use the alley a lot, but your main is on the front, so that's what we've gotta do.
What
Okay.
color are they?
They're black and reflective silver.
Okay. And so that replaces any?
Well, they can keep their other one on wherever, but that's
Oh,
what
that's.
they're gonna be looking for, the fire and police.
The ones out in the county, or out in the country are green and white,
Green and white.
but they're on a pool, or a pool.
Yeah,
in
them
the
are,
front yard.
we call them fire numbers for out there. And them are all up. They've been up for quite a while, it's just like pain getting these other ones done.
Okay, let's move it
Alright.
on.
Consider act on approval of training expense for a WCPA convention in February 2025.
Okay, I'm gonna send Rita that again.
Yes.
It's $280 for the conference, and then I think it's 108 times 300, over $300 for a hotel.
324.
So I'd like approval for that. I'm gonna go down on that Tuesday. I'm just gonna pay for it on my own, because I just wanna go Tuesday for the legal update, and then I wanna talk to the WCPA's, employee or handles in employee labor laws, so we can deal with some issues with Brady or GAD and the nepotism issue. So I'm gonna go down on Tuesday and do that, but I'll pay that out of pocket. I don't
Okay.
expect the village for that. I can't see paying $280 for just one day of it, so.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, I need an update on a $150 donation from the MVets Post 13.
So last week, the AMVets, I stopped over at their meeting and they had a motorcycle ride this summer and we assisted with traffic control with them. So they graciously donated a check for $150 to the police department. We thank them very much for that. My intentions for that are, and I had it in my budget, but I wanted to get soft transport helmets. So basically, it's kind of like a soft helmet like wrestlers wear. When we have people in custody, we have them seatbelted in, they can still move forward, and they like to bang their heads on the back of the cage and gouge their heads or, hit their head so hard they knock themselves out. So they're a little over, I think they're $159, so I'd like to use those funds to purchase 2 transport helmets, 1 for each squad, so we have them available to put them on prisoners if they're kind of unruly and make sure that they don't harm themselves. So thank you very much, ambulance. Thank you, Gary. We appreciate the support.
I'll pass that along.
All right,
Sewer and water.
sewer and water, Mark.
Monthly update?
We continue to look for places at the plant that are outdated and need use and attention. One of those places is our Headworks building. It was added when they built the prison in 2001. With 24 years of metal being exposed to moisture and oxygen, the bar screen room is in dire need of attention. We currently are working on a couple things to combat the moisture issue. We're installing HDP over all the sewer channels in the room and hooked up a dehumidifier in there. We're having John Lunt come out and he's gonna look at maybe eliminating some of the unused outlets in there that are rotting off the walls and try to clean up that whole room and eventually get it painted. And then we'd like to also insulate our room that has our electrical panels for the bar screen, the compactor, and the main lift station. And I'd like to get that possibly heated and insulated so that we have another area to park our tractor during the winter and have it heated. And PJ, our SCADA contractor, had suggested that room be heated because of all the electrical equipment in there as well. So that next year is going to be our big thing on trying to update and get back to where it should be. Steven signed up for sewer classes. He's got one tomorrow or Thursday on activated sludge, nutrient removal, and disinfection. And he's really been working hard at getting classes, and he just got confirmation today that he's got tests lined up on January 15th in Clover. So he's got another round of tests that he's going to be able to do. And that's all we have for monthly updates.
Discuss, consider act on approval of Glenn McCarty's contract with the sewer water department.
It's time that we renew Glenn's annual contract. The contract attached has many items we'll be needing Glenn's assistance with this coming year, like the WPS permit, discharge permit, negotiating with the DNR on that. We did have Strand approved for $5,000 to potentially spend on using them for negotiating with the DNR. If we keep Glenn, that likelihood of using that $5,000 goes way down. This contract is no different than any other project or purchase. And I recommend that we really consider keeping him for another year, because the amount of stuff in the sewer water plant that comes up once every 5 years, once every 10 years, we definitely need him.
And I agree. There's so much stuff that goes on there. And Glenn had a mentor at one time to get where he's at. And I think it's good to keep him on, so Brent has that also.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Opposed.
I'm gonna vote aye on it, so there's a tie here, so we're gonna have to, have Dylan involved in this to, break the tie. I can try and call him quick, he said that he would be available. But I feel that Glenn is very good at what he does. He's got 30-some years of experience, and it's not just the sewer and water. There's a lot of other things that Glenn helps out with. And for instance, the skid steer thing was something that Glenn told me about, and I went out and searched it out and figured out how to get it done. And if Glenn wouldn't have given me the information to do this, I would have never known how to go about getting this equipment fund taken care of. And I've talked to Brent, and I feel Brent has a very good point of the mentoring part of it. He helps Brent a lot, and like he said, there's situations where there's some of these contracts and stuff that don't get taken care of for 5 years. Brent's never been involved in any of that. So,
And also I want to point out that he will he puts in more hours than he gets paid for. Me and Steven are two guys who are on call 365 days a year, 24/7. Having him,
Well, then we shouldn't have signed a contract with Strand for $5,000.
but we didn't,
and that $5,000 is not like we're gonna spend it, it's if we need
Yeah, it's-
the extra assistance in negotiating with the DNR.
so it's a possibility that we're never even gonna spend that money. Just the same as like with Glenn, he gives us an estimated amount on here as to what it might cost for the year, but it doesn't mean that that's what it actually is gonna be. And I guess the other big thing is what happens if Brent or somebody else is gone? Glenn already knows his water plant. He knows how to operate it and make everything go. If something happens, Brent's in an accident, we ain't got Brent here, now what? It's kinda like cheap insurance to me, so
And that's exactly where we were.
I guess at this point, unless somebody wants to change their vote, I need to call Dylan and see if we're going
Can
to,
Dylan technically vote if he wasn't here at the beginning of the meeting?
I
I
guess,
was never called during any of the meetings.
well, we never had a tie either, though. So we gotta break a tie, or we gotta table this till later date.
Table it and maybe relook
Well,
at
it
the
sounds
contract.
like we need additional discussion on it.
Okay, so then do we wanna table this at the moment?
Yes,
Okay,
for my part.
all right,
I don't know
so,
what anyone else's.
so then we're going to table Glenn's contract, discussion and consider act on until, do we wanna do it like, well, I imagine we're gonna have to do this fairly soon, correct? Or is this something that can wait till the next board meeting?
Well, I think we should have a committee.
What's that?
Do a committee
Maybe
meeting.
here on the 30th for the
Should
interviews.
go to a committee meeting, sewer committee meeting.
Okay.
To discuss.
That's
the whole
fine.
thing and then re-propose to the board.
Okay, so do you wanna try and, do you wanna just move it till the next board meeting in January, or do we wanna do it when we do Jim? I can't hear what you said, what'd you
I
say?
didn't,
Why does Glenn need to be involved in who we hire for?
No, he's not gonna be involved in that,
No,
we were
this is
just
to
talking,
keep him on part-time.
we were just talking about doing the meeting at the same time. Not him being
Oh.
involved in, so do we wanna do the meeting on the 30th, or do we wanna move it till next board meeting?
I'm available on the 30th.
I can't be here on the 30th, we're gonna be in Florida for Christmas.
Okay. Should we maybe talk to Glenn about this first and see, I don't know if he'd maybe wanna have something to say about this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep.
Do we still wanna do it on the 30th? I mean, we know where you're at, so I mean, if you're not here at that point, it shouldn't be a big deal, correct?
Yep. And
Could you be
another
called
thing-
on the
Another
30th?
thing I'd like to point out is when he first was brought on here to hire me, Jim, and get the village back to where we were, he then started getting an extra $12,000 of revenue from the prison to annually extra that we were getting because of Glenn starting to work here. So there's $12,000 extra, and also this is not a general fund issue. There's been no issue of us being able to afford him.
When do you get back from vacation, Brent?
When I get back on, I'll be in on the 2nd, obviously.
Of January? Okay. Here's my recommendation. I think we call a committee meeting after the first of the year. We sit down, we go over this and see what we're gonna do, and then we bring it to the next board meeting in January. That's my proposal.
I'll second that.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so then, sometime, do we want to try and figure out when to do a committee meeting now, or do we want to figure that out after the first? What's up, Peggy?
Mark made the motion, who seconded it?
Ellen
This is
did.
the original one.
Gary.
I did.
Gary, and then who was opposed? Ellen? Tim? And Matt are opposed, okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, so do we want to figure out a date and time now, or do we want to do it
Might as
after the
well.
first? Okay,
We're all together now.
all right, so what does everybody have after the first of the year?
I'm available anytime.
So the board meeting would be on January 20th. So, say like the
Right,
week of the
around month.
6th, sometime during that week?
I'm available all week.
Could we do it on Monday the 6th possibly?
I can make that one.
Okay, so Monday the 6th, what time works good for everybody? What time do you get
6
back, Mark?
o'clock.
I get done with work at 5.
So you could be here about what time, you think?
I can be here earlier if I have to, so.
Well,
Be here by 4, 4:30.
you could make it that early? What about everybody else?
I'm available.
Should we do 4 o'clock on Monday, the 6th? So we'll call a full committee meeting on January 6th at 4 PM.
Sounds good to me.
And then it will be put on the agenda for
The 13th. No,
the 20th.
20th.
Yep. Okay. Then we'll figure it out like that. Does that sound good, Brent? Because then you can be here and you can go through the whole process with us.
Yep.
All right. All right, moving on.
Now consider act on approval of quote from motion in the amount of $5,700.10 for new brake assembly.
I had Becky put that on there just in case that was the only quote that I was gonna get. I have LNS that I contacted, and they're going to also be able to get me a quote, so we can table this as well.
Motion to table.
So we're gonna table this till January then?
Well, would the language have to change? Well,
Or can we bring it back the 6th?
yeah, we can just table it till January.
Okay.
Motion there?
Yeah, motion to second.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Is it tabled till the board meeting or?
Yeah, table till the board meeting.
Okay.
All right, streets, sidewalks, ditches, Matt.
Jim, you got any updates?
No, but I do request, you one day and Mark one day, I want to take you through what I plan on doing for 2025 and show you some things that I think needs attention, but I'd like to have both of you see that. So any time, Mark, anytime tomorrow is fine. You know, I'll just take you one at a time because obviously there'd be 3 peas in a pod in the truck, so it'd be better if we can just do it single. So probably a couple hours, you know, to do that. So if we could just call me.
Set a meeting on that.
Set a meeting for what, individual? I'm not
And do
calling
it
you earlier.
individually, that's okay, but
That's gonna be individually, it's not gonna be a
that's a
street
waste of
committee.
time.
For who?
That's taking twice the amount of time out of your schedule to do the same thing.
Right, but this is the best time to do it is now, and not when I'm
So
really
if
busy.
you wait a few days, you can have an agenda and have a committee meeting. Just like we did when we reviewed the parks.
I'll set it up how you want, Dylan, that's fine.
It's saving
It's a
your
lot
time.
easier. Yeah,
And
okay.
when you could be
Saving time
doing,
for whatever, that's fine.
and everybody says we don't have enough time to do this or that, so I'm trying to save your time so you can work on things that need to be worked on.
Isn't this something that's hands-on? You gotta take them around to show them visually what's going on?
Yes.
Gonna have to do it that way, because we're not gonna sit down here and get it done.
All right, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Are you gonna set up, are you setting up times with them to get it looked at so they know what's going on then?
I'll have to.
Okay, then get it set up with them and get it looked at. All right, so we're gonna move on to miscellaneous business. Consider act on approval, well, actually, hold on.
Back to Jim.
We need to go back to the building thing. I forgot about that. Discuss, consider act on new public works building plans.
So here is the inside, and then he's got elevation, so you just can pass it down. Like I said, they were too big, I couldn't get them copied. Does everybody have a sheet here, cost analysis?
Mm-hmm.
That was something that I just drew up, and I gave it to Tom Schwartz at Modern Pole, and he just kind of made it all fit. Nothing's, it's just a preliminary, so, I mean, we can go through it, you know, maybe some things can be shrunk, far as oil room or office room or something like that, so you can get more workspace at the very end. But it's just something that's what we kind of figured. On each corner, you'll see that there's like small item storage, or you know, like we can put the plow there or something, or the chipper, seasonal stuff. And then when we get to spring or fall or winter, then it can go out to the other shop to be stored. So there's places for the small stuff, seasonal to be put, and then angle parking for the equipment.
Yeah, a lot of people might think that's a lot of money, but one snow plow and one loader backhoe, you got the price of that right there, so.
That's real reasonable.
That's a reasonable price for a building.
Just so you know, that's not sewer water dug in, you know, that cost is still there yet. And of course, so I think he's got an apron out in the front.
Yep.
At each end, but, you know, it'd be nice to have it blacktop so you're not sweeping the floor every time the truck comes in, so from the road. So I guess you can look at it and you tell me what you want me to do from this point.
I guess at this point, we should probably have some sort of a committee meeting, sit down and kind of go over this and see what we're thinking, right?
Yep.
So, do we want to call a meeting to sit down and go over these plans and have a discussion about it at this point, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, we'll set up a meeting and then, we'll have to get finance involved. Wanna pass those down? or-
Yes, sir. All right, so what date and time do you folks wanna get together on this one then?
Well, that's gonna go on till spring anyway, right, Jim?
I mean, like I said, I give it to you and then you guys tell me
Yeah.
whatever the next step is, if you want to continue on, or but this is what you requested, and so from this point on is what you decide.
I think we sit down with the building committee and the, finance committee and,
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm asking, do we wanna do it right away in January here? Cause like
yeah,
we're
let's
already.
get it in January, so know we're gonna
So
be set.
we're already doing the water and sewer on the 6th. We should probably do it on a different date because it's gonna, depending upon how long it takes for the water sewer, we're probably not gonna need anything on the agenda for it by January, so we could do it pretty much any time in January. So what is, like the 13th or even beforehand on the 20th, if you guys wanted to sit down for a little while?
Yeah. I'm-
Mondays work the best for me right now at this point because of my schedule, so that's why I'm giving you those days.
Monday the 13th?
Yeah.
Well,
We got it.
We can get it done before 7 o'clock, because I have another meeting.
On the 13th?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Mark? Your schedule's a little bit more busy than the rest of ours, I believe.
How long do you think it'll take? I can be there by 5.
I don't think it's gonna take more than an hour, just to kind of go over these plans and stuff like that. Maybe by then we can get a copy for each of us, and that way we can all kind of sit down and look at it on our own time, and then on the 13th, we can go over it, discuss it, and see what we wanna do.
Yeah, 5 o'clock would work on the Thursday.
On the 13th? Okay.
5, you said?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Will that work for you?
Mm-hmm.
Ellen, does that work for you?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
All right. So now we'll move on to the last section, miscellaneous business. Consider act on approval of the zoning variance for Matthew Camarada at 402 Preston Lane to include 1/3 use as single-family dwelling and 2/3 use as online retail business per zoning committee. We've passed the ordinance, so,
Second.
all right, so all in favor?
Aye.
All in favor, or opposed? I knew I'd do it. All right, consider act on approval of 3 dogs for Jeremiah and Julie Hartman at 451 State Street.
No problems with the dogs.
No problems, do we have all the records?
All the paperwork checked out?
Okay, so everything?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, items to be placed on next board agenda. So we got the new break thing for the sewer and water.
Police squad.
The police squad. Anything else?
Resignation letter for Kim Guston
Yep,
and reimbursement Matt Z
yep,
and Glenn's contract.
yep.
That's what I wrote down.
That sounds right. Anybody got anything else?
I did not.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are now adjourned at 19:52.
I like the 20.